The Experience Pros Radio Show, home of the original Fan Braggin' Fridays. Take just 20 seconds to become a revolutionary by sharing a Fan Braggin' story of great customer service on Facebook.com/Experience Pros. Now, back to Angel and Eric, the Experience Pros.
Welcome back to the Experience Pros Radio Show with Angel and Eric. We appreciate you for tuning in. You know, there's a lot of headlines going on these days with home security and safety and all that going on. How do you protect yourself?
You know, and I think our personal safety and safety out in the public is something we take for granted. We don't put a lot of time and energy into until something happens. And then we really need to stand up and pay attention. Our next guests have 5 children, and they know what it means to protect themselves and their family. They're co-owners of Personal Protection Plans, personalprotectionplans.org. Steve and Mary Jo Tinlin, welcome to the Experience Pros Radio Show. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Angel.
Hi, Mary Jo.
Hello.
Very nice to have you guys with us. Okay, let's start with a basic question. Talk to us about what Personal Protection Plans is doing to help families and businesses.
Absolutely. So our tagline is, we help ensure your safety and security. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. You were just talking about the incidents in the news. You know, a lot of what we talk about as a family is what would we do in scenarios that happen, that could happen in your home or away from home. So there's 4 things that we do, and we believe that we're doing some really unique things that are very underserved in the market. We do home assessments as our first thing. It's kind of our keystone product. And what we'll do is we'll come in to your site. It could be your home or your business, and we'll assess what the security looks like now and help you think through what you should do to make yourself safer and in your home, to secure your home better, and also to sort of make a plan for you and your family or your business employees to figure out what would happen in the horrible event of an invasion or something terrible. So that would be our first thing. The second thing we do is firearms training, if that's something that you choose to do. We can help you get familiar with a firearm. If you're not comfortable, we can certify you in your concealed carry. If that's what you choose, we do require shooting for that. We don't just certify people because, again, our focus is safety. The third thing is scenario training, which is where we'll come in and we'll work with either your family or your business colleagues and talk through what would happen in specific scenarios, throw things out there, and help you understand situational awareness of what would happen if you're at the mall, if you're in a parking lot, things like that. And then the last thing is something that I didn't even think about until we started this business, is the post-incident training. And that is something that could be extremely key. Not only during the incident is your life in danger, but your life can really change based on your behavior after something happens in your home, based on how you defend it, what you say, what you don't say, those kinds of things. And we can do training about that too.
You know, Mary Jo, and it's very comprehensive. It sounds like you cover the whole gamut. I remember, doing some like fire escape drills in our house with our family when the kids were little. That was the extent of our protection plan many years ago. Steve, what are some of those indispensable items that you think every homeowner should have to protect themselves and their families?
Yeah, I think the very first thing, and I think it's the thing that hangs over everything that we do, and that is have a plan. So it's sort of an uninteresting answer to the question, because you would think, oh, it's a firearm or a flashlight or something, a tactile
alarm
like
system
that.
Or something, yes.
Right. Now, you can incorporate all of those things depending on your comfort level in your particular situation, but the very first, most important thing that we're striving for is to have a plan. The bad guys already have a plan, and you are a target in that plan. And most victims, we hear it all the time. I wish I reacted to something that made me feel hinky or funny. And so we have that, some level of awareness around it. Now we're trying to bring it to that level of, and I'm going to do something about it that's going to protect myself, my loved ones, the innocent, my property, something. And so the plan is the first thing. Now, many people make those decisions to extend and have firearms or other tactical weapons, defensive weapons, and obviously, our training would include first be safe with those things, be proficient with them, and demonstrate to us that you can use them appropriately, which is a mental and physical question.
And you were right. It's not high tech. It's not fancy having a plan because, somebody else does have a plan and they're counting on us to be taken off guard and using that against us, and that's the same thing. I know, Steve, you have some background in martial arts training, and that's a big piece of that too, is having that, being prepared.
Yeah. But, Angel and Eric, I would say, my martial arts training goes way, way back. My father was a fight instructor in the Marine Corps, and so I got started as far back as I can remember. And that certainly provides a level of comfort for me, protecting myself and my loved ones. But one of the things that we instruct is you don't need to be a Rambo. You don't need to be Schwarzenegger. You don't need to be a black belt or a double black belt like me. We can help you get really, really good at 2 to 3 things. A small number of things that will change the dynamics of a critical incident for you, whether it's with a firearm or hands or a rolled up newspaper, whatever it happens to be. And so, I think one of the things we strive for here is this is not a, running, jumping, shooting, tactical sort of thing. This is your average American home. How do I defend myself? How do I get prepared? How do I decrease the chances of an incident even coming to my home? And if it does, God forbid, what are the small number of things that I do right away to change that incident?
Right. And Mary Jo, when Angel was talking about, having the fire drills, I wonder, once we get the plan and we know what we're going to do, and I loved Steve's reference to the rolled up newspaper, because boy, howdy, that can be useful. And so my question then is, do we practice those scenarios? Do we actually do mock dry run scenarios like we would a fire drill?
Exactly. Yeah. One of the things we talk about a lot is muscle memory, right? You wouldn't go out and play a football game without having never practiced. We train our soldiers so that they understand exactly what to do during battle, right? It's the same kind of mindset that we want people to have for themselves, for their families, and for their employees and things like that, so that they have that plan in their head. They have it ingrained in themselves. And, let's throw some scenarios out. One of the scenarios we talk about is, what if you're having a family gathering and one of your relatives gets drunk? What are you going to do? What if they get drunk, belligerent, and start attacking someone? That is a totally different scenario than a home invasion, but still something that you should be, thinking about. So we'll run through those kinds of scenarios depending on what your situation is. If you live alone, if you have kids, if you have pets, where you live, if you live in an apartment versus a house, all those kinds of things to just get you really comfortable.
Okay, so do you come on site, Steve, and do like business assessments for the whole company, or do we bring our employees out to you?
Yeah, no, we are on site, and I think that's one of the things that makes it unique. Every situation is different. And it's, oftentimes you'll see publications and articles, and it's great to familiarize yourself and get that education, but nothing beats actually being there on site with you and the employees or the homeowner and pointing out very specifically where the risk areas are and what risk mitigation techniques are appropriate for that. And we can help you with, sort of the ROI on that, right? You could spend thousands of dollars and be 100% secure, or you could spend $10 and be 99.5% secure, right? And help you with some of those decisions too. And those are significantly more impactful and meaningful on site.
Well, thank you so much for sharing personal protection plans, personalprotectionplans.org. Call 303-807-9790 and get your assessment scheduled. Mary Jo, Steve, thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
The Experienced Pros, revolutionizing the way people treat people in business.